Patrick Cook here. Welcome to session number 26 of the Mastering Mandelbulb 3D Formulas Tutorial Series. Okay, so in that last session, I was talking about the interpolate mode. All right, you got two formulas that you can mix together by establishing their weights, their relative weights to one another. I also mentioned that this particular type of interpolation works fine for escape time. It does not work for dIFS. dIFS are shapes. Their math to produce the fractal object is entirely different than the escape time. All right, so I wanted to take this session and kind of show you where things don't work properly. So I've reset and recalculated. Let's get over into interpolate mode. There's my integer power. Let's pick something else. Let's pick something else. I don't know what's good. IQ bulb. Let's see what IQ bulb looks like. You notice that nothing happened? Because in interpolate mode, you have to have two formulas. Now, I didn't have a second formula. So let's come over here. Let's pick a, how about this? Hop F4D. I have a weight of 0. I'm going to turn that to a weight of 1 and 1. Okay, let's see what we get. Okay, pretty weird. It's enough. It's enough to show us what we're doing. Now, so I have IQ bulb assigned to Formula 1. I have hop F4D assigned to Formula 2 slot. They're both escape time formulas, and they work. Because the math to calculate these Mandelbulb objects, the math is similar. Obviously, the equations are different, but the process of calculating, the process being, the escape time, where the formula will be run, and the result of the equation, the output, all right, would normally be fed back in. But if that output of that formula is beyond our bailout, then that pixel or that point is not going to be present. It is thought to have escaped. So that's what I mean when I say escape time formulas. In interpolation mode, that escape time works the same, and so they can average the two, because the math is similar. But the math for dIFS, dIFSs, are entirely different. Let's see what we can do here. Let's, Formula 1, let's keep the IQ bulb, which is an escape time. Let's come over to Formula 2, and I'm going to assign a diff, I don't know, how about this one? Miter IFS. I'm going to try calculating it, and you can see here, error formula option is not valid. Error formula option is not valid. Okay. I don't know why I got two errors here, but anyway, I did, but that's cool. Maybe they just wanted to make sure I got it. So you'll notice here that I have a diff in Formula 2, and I have a escape time in Formula slot number 1 of interpolate mode, and it doesn't work. I'm not surprised by that. All right, so you can't mix escape times and diffs and interpolate. Let's try two diffs. Let's go to, we got a diff here in Formula slot 2, Formula slot number 1. Let's go pick a different diff. Gear IFS. Formula slot number 1, Gear IFS. Formula slot number 2, Miter IFS. Let's see if it works. Calculate. All right, error. dIFS do not work in interpolation hybrid. Error, formula option is not valid. All right, write this down on your palm somewhere. In interpolation mode, interpolation hybrid mode, you can't mix escape time with dIFS, and two dIFS do not work together. All right? All right, now let's see whether or not a transform will work with an escape time in interpolation hybrid mode. Let's reset. Now, all right, so a transform is going to transform the formula just beyond it. So I need a transform up here. I'm just going to pick anything. In formula, I need to be on interpolation hybrid mode, which I lost when I reset. All right, so now let's put a regular escape time formula in here. Okay, so I have a transform in formula slot number 1 with a weight of 1. I have a Atratus VS with a weight of 1 now. Let's see if they run. And it says error, formula option is not valid. And then it gave me parameters okay. And what it did is it basically ignored that transform as a formula to be weighted and only ran the Atratus VS with the transform on it. So I did not get a proper interpolation, all right, with this particular scenario. Generally, don't use transforms in interpolation hybrid mode. You're not going to get the kind of results that you expect. Okay? So in this session, what I wanted to do is to indicate that there are certain conditions that don't work properly in interpolation hybrid mode. Two escape formulas do work. An escape and a transform don't really work. Two dIFS do not work together in interpolation hybrid mode. Two dIFS will work fine in alternate mode, but not in interpolate because the math doesn't work. Okay? All right. Let's reset. And let's do something else crazy. Can I run two transforms in interpolate mode? I mean, this is crazy, but let's just see what happens. All right, so let's pick a transform of dIFS tests. Let's pick another transform of rPow3. Two transforms in interpolate. Let's make sure the weight is the same. 1 and 1. Execute. There we go. Parameters okay. All right. So what this is interesting because what this is doing is it's actually running two transforms in interpolation mode with equal weights. But I think what's going on here is that you have the first transform is affecting the second transform, and so we are getting an object. I don't know whether that object is meaningful or not. Let's go to formula number 2. Let's turn the weight down to 0. Calculate it. Yeah. Okay. All right. This thing is just spinning its wheels now. I mean, what I've done here is I've said run a transform in formula slot number 2 with a weight of 1 and run another transform in formula slot number 2 with a weight of 0, and I'm getting this. And I think what's going on here, I'm pretty certain what's going on, is that the application is just crunching away and giving me something that's taking far too long to render. Number one, this is not a useful, this would never be useful in animation. And I'm not even sure what I'm getting here. So I would say generally, you don't really want to use the interpolate hybrid mode for two transforms. Generally, you want to stay away from a transform and a regular formula. It's sort of like, sort of doesn't work. And we do know that you can't mix an escape time, 3D, 4D, with the diff in interpolate mode. And you can't run two diffs in interpolate hybrid mode. Okay? So that's a little bit of experimentation about the hybrid, about the interpolate hybrid mode. I think we've covered the interpolate good enough. I think we'll move on to DEcombinate. What do you think? Hey, I'll see you in the next session. We'll see where it goes. I'll see you there.